Good morning, Penn State University. You are listening to 96.5 Sports Radio. Today, we have a special broadcast coming at you live from downtown State College, where we will discuss how international soccer tournaments are comparable to wars between nations. The World Cup is a thrilling display of soccer prowess, where teams unite from all 7 continents in order to attempt to prove themselves world champions. Not too different from a world war, where countries all over the continent fight for territory, human rights, resources, and so on. President Obama highlighted this perfectly in his declaration of war against terrorist groups in Syria.
And our own safety, our own security, depends upon our willingness to do what it takes to defend this nation and uphold the values that we stand for.
Although soccer matches pose a much smaller threat to society, they are comparable to a war between nations because they share many of the same characteristics. While breathtakingly entertaining, the excitement of a World Cup is a mere illusion deterring audiences from the truly cynical warlike characteristics that construct the historical international sport. These characteristics include how players are used as an infantry to defeat opposing nations, the immense nationalism felt by those at home and on the field, and the spur of drama when countries find themselves victorious.
All I do is win, no matter what.
But the select few teams who have been able to claim the World Cup trophy are those who put in strenuous work on the training ground. The most practiced groups of players work together like a well-oiled machine, similar to an infantry marching to battle.
Hold it. Why, you're giving out with the idea that all we do in the infantry is march. But somewhere between hip, choo, hip, ho, well, somewhere we've become more than marchers. We're modern-day specialists.
Infantries in both war and soccer both specialize in very similar actions. They both train extremely hard in preparation for each opponent. They defend their objectives, and they always strive for the perfect shot.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Perfectly put by Ronald Reagan in his speech, A Time for a Choosing. War, and soccer for that matter, are about not letting your opponent get the better of you.
Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay, there is a point beyond which they must not advance.
It is essential to come home victorious, and to do so, militaries must infiltrate enemy lines, and similarly, soccer players must cross the opposing defense to score the winning goal. David Beckham did exactly that when he scored the last-second free kick against Greece in 2001, putting fans into awe as England gained a spot in the 2002 World Cup with not a moment to spare.
I don't believe it! David Beckham scores the goal to take England all the way to the World Cup finals!
And England's reaction to Beckham's miracle goal shows how much nationalism is felt by spectators of such important soccer matches. The simple game, where men attack and defend a common goal while doing absolutely anything to penetrate enemy lines, is something that has the power of bringing thousands of people to their feet in amazement. These feelings of immense nationalism are often felt during times of war when countries win or lose a battle. Because there are both winners and losers in soccer and warfare, drama is bound to arise. Finally, the World Cup and a war between nations are very similar because they are both filled with such heavy emotions that are incredibly dramatic. The men fighting for their countries prove willing to do anything to be victorious, oftentimes causing frequent injuries and, even in extreme cases, causing casualty.
Football's world governing body FIFA has begun disciplinary proceedings against the Uruguay striker Luis Suarez after he appeared to bite an Italian player during a World Cup match.
However, the wound the Italian center-back Chiellini sustained was minuscule compared to Brazil's star striker Neymar, who suffered a severe spinal fracture in a quarterfinal match against Colombia, which took him out of the game like a soldier experiencing a casualty on the battlefield. The World Cup is a spectacular sight. It's a tournament that brings together an entire world of people, all focused on the common goal of being victorious. But with an immense power struggle to be the winning team, emotions run high, and drama is bound to arise. The International Soccer Tournament in 2014 was one of the most riveting, action-packed World Cups in the history of the sport. Players fiercely did whatever they could to represent their country and bring the golden trophy home. These players are comparable to soldiers fighting limb for their nations. The players used their training to give the performance of their lives, and the fans at home did everything to cheer their team on. Viewers not only at the event, but also at home, showed true passion and nationalism for their teams. Crowds flocked to watch these incredible events, and emotions ran sky high. The dramatic nature of the sport captivated billions of people around the world, and everyone was glued to the battleground of Brazil.